everyone, it's Meg and welcome to my second monthly 24-hour readathon vlog. Like I said, this is the second of my little 24-hour readathon vlogs I'm going to be doing monthly, hopefully throughout the rest of the year, just as a time to dedicate to reading, and I'm being very spontaneous on the day that I pick to do this 24-hour readathon because I have COVID. It took nearly 2 years and I finally got Rona, so obviously I can't go anywhere. I actually feel fine, luckily. It is Tuesday today. I tested positive on Sunday and I did have a little bit of a temperature back then, but obviously past few days I have been absolutely fine. I hope it stays that way, and hopefully it won't be too long. Hopefully it will be 5 days until I can, go back out into the world, go back to work. We shall see. And I've just been trying to keep a routine, but also being stuck with what I want to do, because I want to write, and I am definitely going to be doing some writing tomorrow. But I've just been in a really weird frame of mind today, so I thought I would do my 24-hour readathon starting from today. It's very random. It's like 20 to 3, but I might finish this at like 3 o'clock tomorrow, 2:45. We will see. It's going to be very casual, as these vlogs always are. But like I think I mentioned in my last 24-hour readathon, which I will try and link in the description if you want to go and check that out, I want to do a romance themed one, because obviously Valentine's is in February and it was actually Valentine's Day yesterday from when I'm filming it. It's the 15th today, and I was looking at the books that I had potentially got to read for this, and I saw this book and I was like, it's a short book, which means I should be able to finish it. It is also a book with quite large text. It's also a story I'm very familiar with, but written by different persons. And I was also given this as an early copy for review. So I thought it would just be, honestly, a great idea for me to try and read this book in 24 hours. I like to think I can, especially since I'm not going anywhere, like I said. But that is Pride and Prejudice, a retelling, which is by Laura Wood. And this is a book I obviously heard about from Laura Wood. You guys know I love her books. And this is obviously a retelling. And this is published by Barrington Stoke Teen. And they publish books and retellings such as this one, which are suitable for readers with dyslexia and those other sorts of learning disabilities, so that obviously these sorts of classics and books in general are a lot more accessible to everybody, and I really love that. So obviously I found out that Laura was doing this and they were looking for people to do reviews, so I reached out and they very kindly sent me a copy, so thank you so much to the team at Barrington Stoke. I'm very excited to read this, and it has a beautiful cover, very Pride Prejudice-esque, and it is very short. So obviously most people who are watching this would probably know the story, and this book is just over 100 pages. It is 129 pages, and this is the original Pride and Prejudice, this is my particular copy that I have. This is just over 400 pages. It is 428 pages, this particular copy of the book that I have. So obviously you can see the difference in size. So obviously I am so intrigued to see how Laura has managed to use this original classic and kind of narrowed it down to this. I've heard great things about this book so far. It has actually been out for a little while now from when I'm filming this video, or a good couple of weeks, so it's about time that I read it and kind of put my thoughts out into the world. So I am very much looking forward to doing this readathon and obviously reading this book. So like I said, obviously this is a much more accessible, easier to read version of the story instead of the original, so the text is a lot bigger and obviously it's a lot shorter, like I said before, so this should be a quick read. And I have read over 100 pages in a day, or in 24 hours at least, before, so I like to think I can finish this. If I don't, I'm going to continue this vlog because obviously I want to give you guys my full thoughts on this, and I think it is just great that there is a retelling of one of my favourite stories which can be a lot more accessible to everybody, because I know a lot of people can also be very intimidated by classics, like even Jane Austen. Like, her books aren't always super chunky, but it's usually the language that I know can throw a lot of people off. So I'm really glad that there is like a more accessible, easy to read version of one of my favourite stories of all time, so then more people can read it, which is wonderful. So I think I'm going to settle myself in and chill. I have confined myself to my room, the upper lounge, and then I also use my sister's room because she's at uni at the moment, because it has a desk. So they're like the 3 rooms that I'm allowed in at the moment. I'm not going anywhere else. So hopefully I can get a fair amount of reading in. We shall see. So welcome to this vlog. I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's get comfy, cozy, and do some reading. So I'm nearly halfway through Pride Prejudice, the retelling. I am on chapter 11, which is page 53, and I am very much enjoying this so far. Of course, this is a very quick read. It didn't take me very long to get this far into the book, and each chapter is roughly about 4 to 5 pages. It's usually like definitely like at the moment it's been like definitely like less than 8 pages per chapter. And regardless of the book, I am always so happy when there are short chapters, because it just feels like I am like moving a lot faster with the book. But honestly, I'm really enjoying this book so far. Even though obviously it is very short, it definitely captures the essence of Pride and Prejudice, of the original novel. And obviously I have read and am very familiar with this story. Like I said, I've read it multiple times, I've seen the adaptations of it multiple times, and obviously I know the story very well, and I feel like this definitely captures, like I said, the story very well. I feel like it captures the characters very well also, and I think even though it is obviously, like I said, whittled down into such a short amount of pages, it still includes those like iconic moments in Pride and Prejudice, you know, like just whether it's like the bigger things or the little things, certain lines, like it just captures it all perfectly. And I'm at the point now where it's just after the Netherfield ball, so it's like each chapter has like one of those like important like key scenes throughout the story. And there's also a line in the beginning of chapter 10 which I really enjoy, where it says, "This is Lizzie's opinion on Darcy," and it says, "Her opinion of Mr. Darcy was now about level with that of a slug." And I just love that. It's just so amusing, and Laura's just like, I've just said in that line, Laura has captured the humour of this novel so well. Obviously this is kind of one of her more comedic books, and the more I have kind of read the original story, the more I've kind of picked up on that, and this book definitely picks up on the humour. Like obviously with that sentence, obviously it's not in the original book. I don't think Jane Austen would dream of writing something like that, but it gets like Lizzie's feelings down to like a very basic, very humoured level, and I just love that. So honestly, really enjoying this book. I should definitely be able to finish it within 24 hours, seeing as obviously I'm nearly halfway through. But they're kind of all my thoughts at the moment. Really enjoying it. Laura is doing a fantastic job so far. I'm sure I will honestly love this book. So I will see where we get to with this. I haven't read for maybe about half an hour or so, but I'm going to go back to it in a minute. And after I have had tea my mum went shopping, she very kindly got me some chocolate, which I never knew existed. Just want to show you, mini egg chocolate. Doesn't that sound incredible? So after tea I'm going to sit down and chill and read Pride Prejudice and try some of this chocolate and let you guys know what I think later on, because it sounds epic. And obviously now Valentine's is over, it's all about Easter and all the chocolate, and I'm absolutely here for it. I think this is the first 24-hour readathon where I have ever actually finished an entire book. It's the next day now, and this morning I finished the Retelling of Pride Prejudice by Laura Wood, and I very much enjoyed this book. I don't have too much more to add to what I said yesterday about this book, but honestly it was a really good retelling. I trust Laura to have done an amazing job, and she did not let me down. I don't think she let anybody down with this book. Just a really good remaking of such a classic book. It had everything, like all the core scenes and all the core values and the essence and just the vibe of the original story in general, but obviously in a much more condensed, much more accessible format. And honestly, like I said, cannot fault it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, and if you guys would like to check out this book, I will try and remember to leave a link in the description if you want to go and check this book out. Thank you to the publishers for sending me an early copy. I am so grateful, so glad that I finally got to read it. It was a really quick, fun read, and especially if you are nervous about classics and want some more reimaginings that are a lot more accessible, highly recommend this book. And I believe they have done more retellings of other classic books as well, so go and check them out if you want to. I'm very glad that I got to read this. Now it's nearly midday and I want to do a little bit more reading. I have had a fairly chilled morning today. I got up, I've done some yoga, I've just cleaned my room and watered my plants. You guys might have seen beforehand in some clips. And I want to do some writing after lunch this afternoon, so I don't know how much more reading I want to get done, because like I said, this is going to be quite a chill 24-hour readathon. But I have two choices, I think. I also have an audiobook which is called We Are Golden. I cannot remember the name of the author, but it's an LGBTQ+ book, and I've been listening to that, so I may listen to that again at some point because I am enjoying it from what I've read so far. So the two choices that I have a poetry book, and then I have my other fiction book that I am currently reading. So the other fiction book I'm currently reading is The Illumination of Ursula Flight by Anna Marie Crowhurst. I literally only started this like last week, and like I said, it's the other book that I have been reading recently, and I'm on chapter 62. I wouldn't finish this in like a couple of hours, that's just not going to happen, but obviously I could continuing it with this vlog, we'll see what happens. Or I could try and finish a poetry collection that I have been reading for ages, because we all know I'm terrible at reading poetry collections. Even though I love poetry, it's just sometimes it just takes me so long, so I have to like dedicate specific time to kind of read them. So the poetry collection I'm currently reading is The Girl Aquarium by Jen Campbell, which was a highly anticipated release a couple of years ago. And I only got it not last year, year before. Started reading it last year in the autumn, and with all poetry collections I'm just useless at dedicating time to reading it. But I'm like about halfway through with this one. Obviously they are quite short, but this is all about fairy tales and girlhood, and I'm very much enjoying this collection so far, especially the first poem. It is absolutely beautiful. So I could see if I can finish this in the 24 hours. We shall see. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. So these are my options. I'm kind of more inclined to go for my poetry collection because I want to do an hour of writing. I could do more if I want to, but if I can at least do an hour, I might as well take advantage of this time that I have whilst I can't go anywhere to try and do some writing and finally finish this goddamn book. But yeah, proving to be a very successful readathon so far, seeing as I've actually finished a book. Even though it is very short, I've still finished it, which is incredible. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. So I think I'm going to go and make some lunch, and Em has got a new video up, so I think I'm going to go and watch that vlog whilst I have my lunch, and then hopefully I can get down to do some writing and then hopefully a little bit more reading before I wrap up this vlog. So it's actually 5 o'clock now and it is broad daylight at 5 o'clock. I would just like to say, like, how wonderful is that? Like, that honestly brings me so much joy. It's getting lighter. Really appreciate that. But obviously the readathon is over now. I started it at about 2:45 yesterday, and in classic Meg style I hardly read anything during that time. I've mainly just been writing, or trying to at any rate. I haven't written since last week, so I've just been trying to get back into it. But I have just done a little bit of reading of The Girl Crone by Jenny Campbell. I decided to go for this in the end since I haven't picked it up in such a long time, and I am over halfway through now. So I am on page 46, so I've read about 10 pages roughly of this, and I am enjoying it, but the poems that I've just kind of read in this section in the middle, I must admit I haven't been enjoying as much. I do really enjoy the themes and stuff in this, but there's certain types of poetry where it takes me a while or to understand, or I get really confused about what it's actually about, if that makes sense. Obviously there's so many different types of poetry. There are some poems that I do enjoy in this, but it's definitely a collection I kind of need to take my time with and just really learn to appreciate, which is probably why it's taken me so long to read it, because I want to kind of appreciate every poem that I read it multiple times, and all that sort of thing. But I'm enjoying it and hopefully I will be able to finish it soon, which will be amazing. So I'm going to wrap this vlog up here. I have no idea how long this vlog is going to be. I don't think it is going to be very long, but obviously I'll see when I get around to editing it. But it's definitely been the most successful 24-hour readathon that I've ever done. Like I said, I finished the book, I finished the Pride Prejudice retelling, which was incredible, and I read a little bit of poetry, which is also fun. So I would definitely call this one a success. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I have no idea when I will be doing my next 24-hour readathon. I don't know what dates I'll be doing next month. It'll just be whenever I have some free time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more bookish videos from me, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. As always, I will leave the links to my social media along with the links to my Goodreads in the description down below for you guys if you would like to see more bookish content that you will not find on this channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!